Alright, hello. So this video is going to be all about beehives, and we're in my creative world right now, where I had tried a few different designs. I really like bamboo, but I can never find a good build to use it in. This one was inspired by somebody's small aesthetic beehive short I found on YouTube like a month ago. Wasn't exactly like this, but it gave me the idea to only do two with a fake block in the middle. But this is how I used to always do all my beehives. I guess specifically on Java, just how I always did it. And this is what I started using on Bedrock Edition, because on Bedrock the smoke cannot travel through trapdoors like on Java. So I had a lot of bees attacking. That's a clock that has a light sensor on it. Pretty neat. Alright. Anyhow, they had, pretty sure it was this top design, but then they had trapdoors on there. And I decided to use shelving because I started using shelving to replace trapdoors on plants, raised beds. And I like that look a lot. So on Bedrock Edition, you can't do anything that blocks the fire at all. So no trapdoors like this. Something I wish I knew sooner. It's all very simple. So most of the time, 2, 3, 4, I will do this. This is, call it my starter one, whatever you want. There you go. It's as easy as it can get. On Java Edition works great. Trapdoors keep your honeycomb from falling down into the pit. And I like to do 4 in a row typically, just because if I want to make a honey block, that's 4 bottles of honey right there. Make a block each thing and each row of hives. And you can just keep doing this into a giant field of them. I like to use the trapdoors with holes in them just to make it look like it's letting the smoke through. So this protects the bees. Now, if you are on Bedrock Edition, you can't do that, unfortunately. So what I had done is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the hive to help prevent the bees from getting burnt. So if they do get caught in the fire, you hear them get damaged by it, just put it down in 1 more block. But I think 4, it's either on the 4th or 4 blocks between it, but that's all you gotta do on Bedrock Edition. You will lose a lot of your honeycomb to the pit. So one thing I had thought about doing was just adding access to the pit. That's as easy as ladders. Then you can hop down here and you can pick up the honeycomb that fell. And it's low enough the bees should not get hurt. Again, if they do, you just put it 1 block lower. So if you want to do a simple one like that, put your little access ladder so you don't lose as much honeycomb. That would be my big recommendation. Now, for the newer design I have been doing, same area here. We're gonna do 4 again just because. Could have left it there, I guess. Temporary block. Okay, I don't need to do that. I like spruce shelves. just because they got that little nail design on them. I think it's cool. I guess we won't need a temporary block on the back. So you can do that, and just line these guys up. So that 2 hive right there, that is what I did on my little flower farm on Bedrock Edition. This way it keeps the bees from getting into the fire, and when I harvest them I typically stand up here, run alongside it while using the shears, and it picks up most of it. Sometimes you gotta walk on this side and get it. But I went from losing over half of my honeycomb harvest to like 3 honeycombs get lost. And again, you can put a ladder into the pit to get the lost stuff if you want. It's totally up to you. That's as easy as the honey harvesting things have to be. Or beehive designs. I don't like to do fully automatic farms. You can see all the different shelves you can choose from. On my cherry grove, I got a little base on my Java world when they added cherry grove. And I'm using this design, but with cherry trapdoors under it and cherry fencing. Still has holes in it, so it looks fine. Excuse me. These are some designs I saw while looking up designs, and they just use scaffolding. The one thing with the scaffolding, I don't remember how I did some of those, to be honest. But like this one, it looks like this because this is the main scaffolding. These two are floating over the hole with the fire. Okay, this one's a trapdoor. Yep. So again, trapdoor ones, they look pretty nice, but Java Edition only. This one, I can't tell you if it'll work on Bedrock or not. I'm not sure. I have never built it over there. It's not a bad design, but it's not my favorite design. Might work, might not. Try it at your own risk, I guess. I do like that it's got some storage in the middle. So doing this design, I just keep it in mind that it's only 2. That way every 2 of these hive sections equals a bottle of honey. I don't really get honey blocks for any reason, just to have them, I guess. Honeycomb's what I use, especially with all the copper stuff now. So you can go all out. You got the little spigot for collecting the honey if you want to go with certain aesthetics. But as you can tell, I like the shelving for raised flower beds. I don't like it off the ground like this. That was just something I was trying. But this one right here is what made me go on my Java house, and I replaced my flower beds that were spruce trapdoors. Originally oak, I changed them to spruce, and then like a week later I was like, hey, let me use the shelf. I think it just looks a lot cooler. And some people prefer the look without the lines. I don't mind it because it gives it more of a plank look. You just supply power to it, and it like swaps your whole hot bar. I don't know how it works exactly, but you can see it took 3 items instead of 1, and I'm on creative, so it won't work right. This is the world I use to test build stuff, and if I see cool designs, like I found that cave design door, whatever you want to call it, that was something I found online. Like, I can't tell you who did it. I might have a video saved. It might have been a picture from Pinterest. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. Not my original design, though. I just thought it was cool, so I gave it a shot building it here, and I like it, and I plan to use it. This is calcite. That is one thing. It was hard for me to figure out what it was, so it was probably an Pinterest picture. And again, you can use any block you want, but I like it. It's a really, really good gate-looking entrance. You don't have to have a door. You can have an open hole. But yeah, this is a sideways loom. That took me a while to figure out too. Never knew their side look and never paid attention. But watching that short, I'm pausing it 50 million times. I looked around at all the blocks, and looked through the creative menu and figured out it was the loom. So I'm thinking that video might have been before the bookshelves. As you can see, I even tried this at one time, same time, before, after, I don't remember. But we got some fancier options. That was just me playing around. This one I don't mind at all. I think it's really cool if you don't want a bunch of them. And it's got a solid block, half block, solid block, same difference. It's top, so it's blocking the smoke. Get rid of that, it should start going through. Maybe not. Or no, the hive blocks it, yeah, my bad. But, still, pretty cool. You could even probably put a frog light in that. I bet that would look nice. Yeah, so you still get some light out of it. Heck, you could put a barrel up there and trapdoor on the front. Pretty endless ideas. But for the most part, fence post, this right here is my basic design I have used on Java for the last, whenever they added these, I don't remember. My Java worlds, I've been playing on that map since 2020, I think. And then the seed since like 2018. But I've been using that since they added the bees. Because I could never find anything good. And then I saw this one, and again, just so you can visualize it, this is what I found online. And that doesn't look bad. I don't hate it at all, but with the shelves being released, I think they are a good upgrade for your flower beds and such. As you can see. This right here was my selling point to myself. And then this was that was me experimenting with string to keep bamboo from growing tall. And it is surprisingly hard to see. That's my redstone bamboo farm and stuff. So yeah. Beehives, pretty simple. If you're on Bedrock version, starting off, I had one as simple as beehive in a tree, 1, 2, I think 3, 4, 5. I don't think you want to go more than 5, but that's as simple as my beehive in a tree would be. Actually, I'd rather go a little lower so you don't fall in the pit. Then I would shear it while crouching near it like this. Crouching probably doesn't help. I like to think you pick up blocks a little easier crouched, but that's as easy as it gets on Bedrock since you can't block it. Again, I don't know if scaffolding will block it. I haven't tried it. I have no interest to try it because I don't like the scaffolding look. This guy right here, I don't like the look enough, but I have a feeling it might work, but also, honestly, probably won't. If I think about it, I'll try it next time I'm on the Bedrock realm. But right here, this is what I went with on Bedrock. 0 issues. And out of my flower patch, total harvest from honeycombs, 36 each full harvest, and I usually get around 35 or 36. So losses between 1 and 3, and compared to that one with the open pit, I was losing up to half of my stuff sometimes. You got to be careful. Sometimes they'll flop out pretty far, which is why, like I said, when I harvest them, I stand right up on them, and then I run around the backside, pick it all up. And then I look at my count. If I don't have 36, I'll take a quick look on the side, see if anything shot off weird. For the most part, this design right here is my new favorite, and I'm going to remake my honey beehive field, whatever you want to call it, on my Java world, and this is what I'm probably going to go with. And while I'm here, I did think about just doing 4 wide. Just to stick with the having 4 thing. And yeah, even that right there doesn't look too bad. I think I like the little design better. You can put anything you want on the top, and they're just decorations to break up the blockiness, I guess. I don't know if that would be very visible from the side. It's a little bit, but you get the idea. You're just trying to break up the flatness of it. You can do that with anything you want. Throw a button on there. I've been using buttons a little bit more. Yeah. As you can see, that button's in there. But even 4 doesn't look bad. Then you got your whole honey bottle per harvest of each section. That was my trapdoor experiment. I didn't realize. I never knew animals couldn't jump out of trapdoors. But it's only, yeah. They can't jump over the opening side, or where it goes when it's open. Very good to know. Java Edition only, I'm pretty sure. But, so I like that. I think it's awesome. I will say, this design right here, I don't hate, but I think I would prefer, like if I did 4 in a row, I think doing something like this to break them up would be nice. Instead of a beehive, do something like that, and it's just a honey barrel on tap chilling next to the hives, and that's where I would store the honey at. Yeah, I like that one. I like the, which I guess is kind of just the middle of that, but you don't even have to have the, excuse my mouth just got really dry. You don't have to have the trapdoor under it. I kind of like the trapdoor look a little better, and I think you could probably even do this. You just can't do that when there's a campfire underneath it. I like the scaffolding's good, and it's got the skinny legs, so it works great as like a table almost, a little tall. But the little spigot on it is cool, but I like it better used like this, because you know I know a lot of people use that for taps and stuff. I plan on making a little bar using an iron golem in a village on the Bedrock realm, and probably Java eventually, that I keep seeing around. And it just has this guy going back and forth from a chest and copper chest with water bottles. That's really pretty cool. But yeah, this is probably what I'll do on my Java world. I don't hate the 4 in a row. I have to figure something out with the top just to break up that shape, which I guess I've been living with that for the longest time, so it doesn't matter. Now it's bugging me that this is only 3 wide. But trapdoor wise, last time I was doing a bunch of these, I was using mangrove. That's what I have under my trees on my Java world, just because of that big central hole. And then I used the pink and the cherry biome just because. But any trapdoor will work, even the solid ones. So, my vote is for the raised bed style for sure now, but that is great for an early game setup. If you, I guess, get silk touch or build this next to a hive on a tree and you can breed them, that's the easiest way to get started without silk touch. And I do like now that it tells you the bees inside. I almost got a mod for that a couple years back that told me what was inside it. And now it's factory. I mean, I'm just trying to think of something. You can put anything on top of them. It's been years since I really focused on the interior design and stuff on here. I'm going to do a tour of my Java world. That's when I really started getting like, hey, I should make this stuff look pretty. And it looks good. It's functional, stylish, finished. That's the important part, is that it's functional. It's not just a cool house that you look at. I like large better than the cluster, because the cluster's huge. Yeah, even that looks good. I like to sprinkle these around. So, and you can tell I've been struggling with finding or making a good streetlight design. I've settled on one, and I don't like it. It's better than the old one. So yeah, this is my verdict, vote, whatever you want to call it, and Technically, you can get right up next to it. Oh, that's what I did over there. And what would you say? I guess you could say it's infinitely expandable. I feel like this video is going to be mostly me rambling, getting off track, choking on my dry throat, and yeah, I don't know. I hope it helps somebody. But yeah, I really like that right there. You could just do a small one right like that. Boom. That's plenty of honeycomb. I don't try to rush the game anymore. It ends up happening naturally, unfortunately, but I don't do... One thing I don't make at all now is iron farms. I thought about making a small automatic honey farm just so I have some on tap, but I feel like that might take away from actually going out and harvesting my stuff. So that's what I was doing up to a couple months ago. I tore it all down to redo the area they were in, cut the mountain back some more, and I haven't remade them yet. So all my bees are sitting in a chest in their hives. But this is the design I'm going to go with. That's what this world's for. It's for me to pre-design stuff. I even built my entire secret bunker enchantment room, which is what this big block is. This was inspired by a picture I found online. I'm getting sidetracked again. I'll probably just do a tour of my Java world. Again, it's 5 years old. I don't play consistently though. I take gaps, sometimes years gap. You know, get that 2-week phase. I've been holding on pretty good this time. But this is definitely going to be my new go-to bee design. Just make sure you put your fireplace. I would still do 2 blocks down. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know if it matters with this look. I'm pretty sure you need an air gap between the hive and the thing for sure. But I always do 2, just like I was doing the trapdoor, just to be safe. Even on Bedrock. If your bees get hurt, just dig it down deeper. I would give it at least 3 or 4 air gaps between on Bedrock. But yeah, if you don't have a shed for your honey storage, something like that, you can keep all your honeycomb in it. Build a second one, you know, facing this direction. Boom, put your honey blocks and bottles in that. I didn't think I was going to like it being 4 long, but I do. It feels... I don't like having this block here just for the fact that it's useless unless you want to use it as a loom, but I have one in the crafting area for that. I think it's supposed to look like an empty hive. Pretty sure that was the idea. I'm just not a big fan. It looks good, but I like this a lot better. So I think I'll redo the honey, what am I calling it? I think I'm calling it my flower garden on my Bedrock realm. So I'll probably be redoing that, and I will have 4 to 6 of these, maybe even more. I had almost 9 stacks of honeycomb when I've used it in the last couple of days. Just redoing the trial chamber and some other stuff. So it's good to have, but I think this is a really good option for if you're trying to stay away from automatic farms, like myself. I want to make the game feel more personal. Yeah, it's chores, but this doesn't take that long to harvest. So yeah, you can make an automatic farm, you're saving some time, but where's the fun in that? Your bees are trapped behind glass. This one, I usually just, you know, plant flowers all around the area. They don't have to wander off to get them, and I'm pretty sure they fixed the bee wandering in one of the updates. I have done bee rescue missions in the last couple months on Java, and found some bees that were lost. Several chunks from where they were supposed to be. And in that case, I would just carry empty beehives with me. I keep them in my, well, not on here, but I keep a little utility bag. So, oops, sorry, that's my phone. Keep a little supply bag on me and a utility bag. I would, I think I still do, keep a couple empty ones on me. That way if I do find a lost bee, just since that world's old enough before they fix that issue, plop it down, the lost bee usually goes right inside it within a couple seconds. I don't even hate having that. Wish there was a 3D honey item. Not like that, but like a... Oh, I guess that would be a candle, wouldn't it? Yeah, you can just put candles on the top. That honestly probably would look pretty good. Just give her a shot. And we'll do opposite of the lantern. You do 4 to get you max light, but since there's a lantern there, I would probably just do 3. I like the look of 3 candles better than 4. You just get, those are just, you know, bunched together in a square. These are zigzagged. I feel like it gives it more depth. Yeah. You put candles on it, anything really. I think I like the amethyst bud better. Large amethyst bud's my favorite, like I said. Because the cluster is just huge. And the other 2 are too small to really... Too small, they don't really feel like they're doing a whole lot. And while it's on my brain, I'm going to set these out as a reference to their size. Yeah. You can tell. That was me trying to measure the building. And when I built it in my Survivor world, I accidentally made it 2 square blocks bigger each direction. So it's very big in my other world. And it took a lot longer to build hollowing it out than it did here in Creative. Surprisingly. I guess it's because I had to hollow it out and build the walls. So on here, I only had to build the walls. But I'll do a tour of my Java world and show that off. I think it's a pretty good design. It took me a couple... all out, and I'd say 8 to 12 hours doing everything, all in all. And this bell, it's cool, and it dings morning and night, but you can't put it indoors, which kind of sucks. But this right here, that's my final vote. That's my final vote for aesthetics. And this will be my final vote for simplicity. Again, I will still use this design 100%. I'm just going to leave the campfires out because I got a crap ton going already. And you could still put stuff on the top of that one too. Just looks a little weirder. This looks like it was meant to just be something freestanding. And if you wanted to, you could box it in a little bit more. But that's gonna prevent your bees from going in a little bit. But fully box it in, put trapdoors all the way on the top. I like to keep it open. The important thing is they cannot exit the bottom, so they won't go into the pit and die. They can only exit the front, but they can enter any side. On Bedrock, with not being able to use the trapdoors, the reason I wanted to go with this was because they won't fly in the bottom, hit the fire, and get damaged, which is why you have to keep it lower, doing an open one, like I showed over there. I think that probably is going to end it. You get an idea of a quick, simple farm. I don't like how barrels connect to fences, but what I usually do, I'm just all over the place. What I usually do is I just try to keep a barrel next to where my honey farm is at for storage. If you got a big surplus, obviously change it, move it, whatever you gotta do. I'm trying to get more into storing items like the honeycomb away from my base, instead of centralizing everything in like the storage basement I have, which it's good for storage, don't get me wrong, but not having to leave your house for anything long term is gonna kind of suck trying to be, what's the word? If everything's in one place, you're literally boxed in. So having your storage, build a storage house specifically for certain items. I'm sure everyone has said it. Get you out, get you moving in your world. Add little shops that sell wood, whatever you got to do. Build a giant stone quarry. Boom, store your 500 double chest of stone, because we all get there eventually if your world's old enough. So let me see if I got a tree, just for folks that want a real simple one. Let's get it in a real world situation. Oh, okay, beehive and a bee something. Bee nest is the natural stuff. So before I get silk touch, this is what I will do. And we'll use bamboo for the fun of it. So Java right here. I'd pop that in, go down to, be done with it. Call it good. There's your Java bee farm. Quick and easy with a natural hive. If you don't have silk touch and can't move it yet. Build those right here. You can breed your bees here as long as you got 2, and they'll go right in the nest. You don't need silk touch at all to make a bee farm. And you got the aesthetics of it being open and not tucked away in a cave or a building and your bees are stuck in a globe. You can plant your flowers around it. Aesthetic, I think I'm going to call it aesthetic. It's aesthetically pleasing to do something like that. If you're on Bedrock, this is not going to work because of this trapdoor. In that case, break it. Bring her down a couple blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 blocks. That is honestly probably better than having it down here, because down here I would lose a lot to the pits, like I was saying. Up there you can literally shear it, but an issue you will come across is sometimes your honeycombs, at least on Bedrock, will go through the tree and get stuck on the top. So if you have a way up to the top of the tree, cool. But due to them doing that, due to the honeycomb going through the tree, is why I started putting all my hives a block below the leaves. I like to trim my trees. I did like those there, I won't lie. So that may pop through there. I've noticed on Bedrock, if you have an item and it gets block logged, whatever you want to call it, it will pop to the top if it's open. Or open enough. So on Bedrock, this is what I would do. And I would just get real close. If you're really worried about it, you can just dig down each time you harvest to get that, missing honeycomb. But Java Edition, I'd probably do something like that. Yeah, I would do that for Java. Well, I mean, if it was natural, you don't have a choice, but you get what I'm getting at. Literally just pop a fire under a tree, and you got a bee farm. And then you can start building that stuff next to it. Because once you got 3 honeycomb, right there's your beehive, bee nest. That's the nest. These are the hives, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So just build all that right next to your natural tree with the bee nest. So yeah, hope this helps somebody. Helps you simplify the beekeeping experience in Minecraft. And just give you a little hope, or reduce your stress trying to figure it out. Sometimes you can really work over on things. Stack some wood up there. Maybe get you. Pretty sure I had ashless textures turned on. I put it in there. I didn't activate it though. I didn't have any luck trying to find shaders and mods that didn't affect the game. Yeah, so vanilla tweaks is pretty nice. It takes away the ash on my stuff. But yeah, good for wood piles, I would say. I don't know why you'd stack wood on your beehives. Alright, I keep getting distracted. That's fine. That's fine. We all do that, right? Anywho, that'll be it. Let me get a nice screenshot I'll use for this video. Oh, how do I do that? 1. Alright, F1. Beautiful. It's going to be Pinterest famous. It's going to trend. It's beautiful. Alright, take care. Thanks for watching.